Good morning students, welcome to the session on operating system. In our previous lecture we have started our semaphores and we have seen how we will be using the semaphore. What is the semaphore? Semaphore is an integer variable which can be shareable between the two atomic operations like wait and signal. Okay. And by using this we will synchronize the processes, I can say. We will be having mutual exclusion, I can say. Okay, in order to see how we will be implementing these semaphores, I have taken some example. I will be declaring a variable called semaphore by using the type def. This is a user defined data structure, I can data structure as data type, I can say, where I will be having integer variable as well as I will be holding a pointer variable in order to hold the processes which have been blocked. Okay, which has to be blocked, I can say. That is the reason I am taking a type def structure. In the structure I am declaring one variable and one pointer variable in order to hold the blocked processes, I can say. Okay, and the semaphore here it is an integer variable. See, when we are implementing these semaphore variables, we need to remember that the accessibility of semaphore should be indivisible. Okay, why? Because when wait is accessing the semaphore, then the semaphore should not be accessed by your signal. These atomic functions should access the semaphores indivisibly. When one function is accessing the semaphore, other should not access that particular semaphore. We need to plan the program in such a manner that this semaphore should be accessed by this function or else this function. At the same time, this should not be shared by both the functions, I can say. This is the simplest topic. Already we have discussed about this, but we are seeing the implementation, how we are implementing this particular semaphore. Here the structure process will hold the processes which are blocked. Okay, and see, whenever a P1 process wants to enter into its critical section, then it need to execute its entry point, that is entry section. In the entry section, what we are writing? We are writing wait function, and after the completion of your critical section we will be executing exit section. Okay, in place of exit section what we are writing? In place of exit section we are writing signal process or a signal function, I can say. Okay, see here, when I am executing the critical section, semaphore can be given with any value. See here, the value can be assigned with any number, I can say, and in order to enter into its critical section, it must successfully execute its wait. Say suppose if your value has been assigned with 5 less than or equals to 5, less than 0, no, it is not true, then it won't execute this. Just simply it will make value as minus and it will be entering into its critical section in order to execute it successfully. Okay, then this will become 4. Okay, and when some other process, already I told you people, counting semaphores are used in order to manage the resources, I can say, in order to manage the limited resources that can be accessible by processes at the same time. See here, one process is already accessed, and when the second process comes, the value of the semaphore will become 4 less than 0. No, it is not. Then this process can also enter into its critical section, like that only your third process, fourth process, fifth process, like this it will be entering 5 processes into its critical section. Okay, see here, 5 4 3 2 1, like this, 5 4 3 2 1, and after this the value will become 0 less than 0. No, it is not true. Then it will be blocking your P6 process. P6 process will be blocked and that will be stored into your P list. That is, P list will contain P6 now. P1 has executed, P2 has executed, P3, P4, P5 has successfully executed their critical section. They have entered into their critical section and they are executing. Counting semaphore will allow multiple processes to enter into its critical section, but it will monitor the critical section, how it is being used, that will be monitored. Consider that we are using counting semaphores. If it is a binary semaphore, only process 1, process 2. Either we will be giving 0, either we will be giving 1, that we have seen in the previous session. Okay, when we are blocking this P6, until or unless one of these process completes its execution, this P6 will be in black state only. It will be in a queue called black queue, or else which will be in a waiting queue for its turn. Okay, say suppose P1, which is came in the first one, that has completed its critical section, then it will be executing what? Exit section. In the exit section, it will make the value of your semaphore to plus plus, that is 0. Already it made 0 at the last one, process 5th. When the process 5th comes into the existence, then it will be making the semaphore value as 0. 0 plus plus will become what? 1. When we are doing this 1, when it is exiting from the critical section, your process 1 will make the semaphore value as 1. If your value is less than or equals to 0, if the value is less than or equals to 0, initially the semaphore value is 0 and we are making that as 1, then there is no problem, it can enter into the critical section. But when it is less than or equals to 0, already we have done with the 0, then remove a process from your blacked list and wake up the process. Okay, so consider 5th process has been entered into your critical section, then the value of the semaphore will become 0. Okay, when it is 0, when the P6 is trying, when the P6 is still trying, it will be in a loop, it will be trying for that only, you can write this in a case of loop also. Okay, when it is this, when it is reaching this point, then we will be wake up that particular process which is in a block list. Then we will be waking this up and we will be putting that for ready queue. Okay, so that it can access the critical section. In this way, we will be executing our critical section by using the semaphores, I can say. Okay, in order to say it clearly, I will be saying that the blocked processes can be resumed only when some of the processes, at least one of the processes completes its execution and executes a signal process. Signal process is nothing but your exit section. Okay, until or unless that your programs will not be executing its critical section. Okay, if the condition is satisfied, then it removes the blocked processes from the waiting queue and resumes it for the execution and executes the wake up call for your process. Okay, that is what we are saying. Okay, and see, I can say this also. This situation is known as critical section problem, where we are sharing the same coding part, and this can be eliminated by using the uniprocessor. Means to say that if you are using only single processor, it can be eliminated, and when we are having only single processor, only one process can execute at a time. Okay, then there will be no problem. But when we are considering the CPU utilization, we will be having multi-programming, multi-processing operating system. We will be having this kind of situations. Okay, this is how we will be executing the semaphores. Okay, if the condition meets that it is less than or equals to 0, say suppose when we are having P6, the value will become 0. If say suppose P7 is also coming into the existence, then the value will become -1. Then again P8, then the value will become -2. Whenever the values are that, then we will be entering into, whenever a process executes the signal function, then automatically it will wake up a call, it will wake up a process from the blocked list. That is what we are saying, and in this way we will be using the semaphores in order to in the process synchronization. I hope it is clear. Very important for your external. Do remember, and that's it for now. See you in the next one. Thank you.